And we've got the photo out, the little thingy out there as well. So lots of places to take pictures. This is great. You guys are mostly, I think, like all of you are in like some sort of business of some kind. And this is a great place to get content. Yes, you want to be immersed and you want to be present. Like I haven't, like I was just like, oh shit, I need to take some pictures. I'm like snapping them of Stevie. I like forgot to take anything else really. And so you want to be present in the moment, but still take the times to like, you know, come and get a picture with us, or go get a picture with Todd or with Stevie and get a picture in front of the thing. Like, this is a time for you to establish yourself as a go-getter and as someone who, you know, puts themselves out there, and you can inspire others. Maybe someone who was afraid to go to an event, they're like, oh my gosh, there's so-and-so, they went to this event. Like, that's pretty cool. Look who they're surrounding themselves with. Oh man, so many connections can be formed, and it's just so important to capture the content as well. And we need content anyways, because like we've all been like, what the hell am I going to post today? Oh, I got that cute little picture from Ignite. So
and ask someone, like I always feel like it's so nerve-wracking to be like, can you take my picture? Just like all of us know how to hold a cell phone and press a button. Yeah. So ask someone, just be like, do you mind taking my picture for a quick sec? And then you swap out. It's like you're like a tourist. And
do
like,
a go live with each other, like an interview, like
and
put yourself out there.
And think of all the value. Like we said, what you want to create is the content that you consume. Today you consume 6 hours of effing incredible content that can be relayed into so many posts, stories, videos. What did I learn? What did I gain? Who did I connect with? How did I grow? What did I break through? What was a limiting, like I could literally make a month's worth of content just from today. Yep. And then I can attach a photo to every single one of those, or a video from all the places around here, all the different selfies.
Outside,
there's
tomorrow.
Just so much. When you can start to look at situations and capitalize on the time, you leverage the F out of this. Mm-hmm. That's how your business grows. And that's when you're sitting there like, what do I post today? Consume something. The second I consume a podcast, I'm like, oh, I got 10 posts.
Yeah.
Because then you personalize it, you create it as your own. Like Stevie was saying, that's how you create things, is you consume what you want to create. And in this space, when you're like, I don't have any photos, people say all the time, my life's so boring. My life's boring as hell. I just sit around with my dog. I still take selfies with him. I force him to take pictures with me all the time. I'm like, hold still for mommy. And he's like, get a treat. I'm like, but I do it. Oh, are we taking a hike? Take a picture. Am I at an event? Take a picture. Do I want to selfie? Take anything. Consume while you can, because then you can recycle and repurpose this for a really long time. Me and Carly only see each other maybe 2 to 3 times a year.
Looks like we're together all the time.
And it looks like we're together all the time, because when we were together, we'd take a picture, outfit change. We're like,
hair back.
Get a picture of us. We're like constantly, because then we separate for like 6 months, and we have to build a business together. So we need to have content together. So in the 4 days that we're together, like when we were in Mexico, Aaron had to be our personal photographer.
He's not very good.
He's like, oh my God, you guys were like, get a beer. Here you go, take another picture. But that's how we then, between Mexico and now, we haven't seen each other. That's a long time.
I know. So if we can do it, you guys can do it.
That's how you can even build a business with a business partner that you live long distance from each other, is you're able to maximize the time that you're here, and you have another 2 days to continue to create content, create value, and even like take notes. Like I'll write down things when they come to me. I'm like, ooh, this would be a really good value post. This is something else I could share.
Awesome.
That's it.
Okay.
Woo.
Thanks so much, guys. So we'll be mingling in here and out there for when the other people come in. So you can take off too if you need to. So do what fits for you.
Vulnerability is so nice, and so we both said this to each other. I'm like, I want to grow. Me too. I'm like, we want to keep up leveling and keep making an impact. We just didn't have that boost, that push underneath us. And that's what happens as you move higher. You never stop growing. That's the thing, is we always need mentorship. There's a mentor that has a mentor that has a mentor that has a mentor. There is never someone sitting up at the top like Bill Gates is like, I'm perfect. Like, no, like everyone has someone that they need to seek advice from. So for us, we were really moved at the event that we went to by Jeff Hughes. He was really impactful, had a real energy to him. We were like, damn, he is good in business and we should talk to him. And so we messaged him. He put together a mentorship program for us. It was the first time we'd paid for mentorship. And that was, we were like, oh, I thought we'd just like have a 3-way chat. And you'd like
just give away all your secrets.
And just like, like give us some advice. We were like, he's like, yeah, I'll put together an 8-week program and it'll be this much. And we're like, I'm like, maybe this is a bad idea. We're like, this seems so intense. And we were so intimidated by the entire experience. We're like, should we? And this is part of the process, is questioning, do I want to spend that money on that mentorship? Am I going to get value from this? What am I really looking for? And we were like, F it, let's do it. And literally the biggest component that scared the both of us was the fitness part. And he was like,
fitness
all right,
pizza into our mouth.
He's like, so you guys just download the MyFitnessPal app? We're like, what? Like, I just want to, how do you run Facebook ads? And we're like, what's this health thing about? And so we were like, okay. And he's like, all right, so we'll meet you at the gym on Monday. I'm like, oh my God, what did we get ourselves into? And we spent those next 8 weeks in a completely transformational experience. I think we talked about business maybe once. We worked on ourselves. For 8 weeks, we worked on us. And that is where the change happened, was when we worked on our mindset, we worked on our vision, we worked on our limiting beliefs, on all the bullshit that we told ourselves, all the stories, easing up on our ego, allowing our higher voice to come through. It was like a complete shell. Like, we broke through something that we didn't even know we had the ability to break through. And it was in that time when we developed Ambition Babes. We wrote out this vision of how we wanted to impact the world so far beyond the current business that we were in, and what we wanted to build and develop. And we built out a 3-year plan. And it was incredible. And we put this together in 3 months because we finally had a vision. We finally had a roadmap. It was so clear to us. It was like everything then started to move in fast forward, because then all the obstacles, doesn't matter, move it out of the way. We're ready. We were so driven because we finally had the map. We didn't have the map before. We were literally lost on a backcountry road going in circles, and it was like the perfect time to admit, I need some help. I needed some guidance, I needed some mentorship, and I needed to get clear on what my life was supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. And that's how Ambition Babes was born. And then since then, it was like we put a brick on the gas pedal, and we're like, let's go! And we just haven't stopped. And we know personally from attending live events, what this experience does for you is so much further beyond what sitting at your computer screen alone in your living room will ever do for you. Ever. I've sat alone. I mean, I sit alone at home every day in front of my computer screen. My dog's good company, but like, y'all are really great too. So having this experience is something that you cannot replicate sitting on Messenger or sitting on Google or sitting on your website alone by yourself. It's great to have connection, but we knew what we got from a live experience. We wanted to create this. And building an event was damn hard, you guys. Like, I mean, for anyone who's planned a wedding, who's married, I haven't had a wedding yet, but my God, there's so many details, so many things to consider. There's just so many moving pieces. We could have given up at any point and said, you know what, maybe we should wait a year, maybe we're not big enough, maybe we're not well known enough, maybe we won't make enough of an impact. And we battled for months, should we, shouldn't we? And we pushed through, because look at who's here. You guys showed up for us, and we're showing up for you because we want to make an impact. We want more leaders in all industries, and we want to create and facilitate that for you guys. And that motivates us every single day to show up, because now we have a vision, now we have goals, now we have a roadmap to continue to create Ambition Babes into what it gets to continue to be. And it's just so cool how when you can come from such a space of vulnerability and being completely lost, to when you shift and you kind of accept and render to the process, what develops from that is one of the most beautiful things. And again, it is about putting your ego aside to say, I need a little bit of help and I need a little bit of guidance. And when you can give into that, oh, the beauty that can come is a gift. So as you experience this weekend, again, we talked a lot about ego yesterday. When you can bring that down and welcome in vulnerability and authenticity, that's when your transformation really occurs.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. So that's kind of like how Ambition came to be, Ambition Babes came to be. And so we've since really dialed in our message and who we want to have an impact on. And that's everyone in this room. You guys stepped up today. So give yourselves a big round of applause for being here today. Every single one of you is a leader now. And you're going to continue to lead and grow and be the best version of yourself, because that truly is our goal. And so whether or not you have a single person on your team, you're still in your 9 to 5, whatever that looks like, You can be a leader in your family, in your community, in your workplace, in your business. And we're gonna show you the tools of how to strengthen that. And that's what all of today, our presentation is about, is stepping into that leadership style. And both Ali and I have gotten into our stride. And we've seen actually a lot of people get into a position where they're in a leadership position, but they don't know how to lead. They're still a leader, but they don't have the tools and the confidence to be able to take it to the next level. And so we've really done the personal development and the growth and connected with the people that we needed to build up our content and just really strengthen what we have to offer. And yeah, it's pretty exciting what we've built. And one of our things, so our mission is to facilitate the growth and development of leaders to build and scale engaged, loyal teams. Again, even if you don't have a single team member yet. Cultivating belonging, culture, and a desire to give more, to be more, because when we come from a serving place, anything can happen, and the impact you make, the ripple effect is incredible. Look at this event, look at the ripple effect. Like, we've just been filled with love like this whole time, so it's been amazing. And that culture and that belonging, that's so much of what people like working with us, is because they feel like they belong. And you do belong. You belong everywhere. You just don't see it necessarily. And how great is it to cultivate that for others and know that they belong with you? It's an amazing feeling. And so we have these, everything is built around, this whole event is built around our 4 quadrants of greatness, we like to call it. And it's our mindset, our business, our health, and our relationships. And so we've got speakers in those different quadrants because all of those quadrants are so vital in your ultimate success and happiness. If you're on a beach and you've got all this money and you've got great people around you, but your knee is sore or your throat is sore, that's literally all you're gonna be paying attention to. You're like, my damn knee, I should have been taking better care of my body. Whatever, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Or if you've got all the success, but you're alone and you don't have any relationships, you've cut everyone out, you've just been driven for success and nothing else matters. Your 4 quadrants need to be optimized in order for you to truly optimize your life and your happiness and your success. And that's what we focus on in our courses, in our events, in our content. And we want to help you guys get there because it all starts with you. That's why it doesn't matter if you have others following you, because people are watching you. And apparently, oh, this does work now. So we want you guys to set some intentions for the weekend. So some of the VIP members have already done this, but it's great to kind of reflect, what did you learn yesterday? How it's already kind of tapped into some things, woken you up, and how you're going to continue to go through the weekend. So we want you to think about these questions for a minute. What brought you here today? What do you want to get out of this weekend? And again, what we set as an intention doesn't mean you're setting an expectation, because you need to detach from what exactly it's going to look like, because what you think may happen, and this is good to just open the conversation, but it's not necessarily what's actually going to happen when you leave here. You may leave feeling a little disappointed because maybe you didn't get what you wanted, because it wasn't exactly. But when you go home and you reflect, you're like, oh, actually, I actually took away a lot of different things. So we want you to detach from the expectation, but think about how you can put yourself out there, how you can connect with others, and what you can really get out of this weekend, because it potentially will look different than what you're thinking. Where are you currently limiting yourself? That's what was really great about yesterday. I don't mean to like rub it in a GA's face, like, oh my God, yesterday was so good, but it really was amazing. So you're definitely gonna wanna check out that video that we put out. And what are the beliefs that are holding you back? We're gonna talk about some of that as well today. What are the consequences of staying exactly where you're at today? Because change doesn't come from comfortable and staying where you're at. It comes from getting uncomfortable, doing the hard work, putting in the effort, and making action happen. So just in your little groups, maybe in 2 or 3, because we've got like about 5 or 6 people at each table, just pick one of these questions that resonates with you and just chat about it for a minute.
And ideally, again, we want to start meeting and connecting with new people, but even if you started to reflect on this exercise yesterday as a VIP, you might be sitting next to someone new today ask them that question. Ask each other one of these questions. What brought you here today? Or is there a limiting belief, something that's holding you back? And then you get to know each other. And again, you build accountability with each other so that come the end of Sunday, you have that ability to reconnect back to that person. It builds conversation. It builds a connection to someone where you can go, hey, what did you think about yesterday? Or how was that event? Like you start to build conversation. So take that time, turn to your neighbor or turn into a group and have that small group discussion for a minute here.
Have at her. Or am I? Oh, they're off. Okay. We went a little long on that first one, but that's okay. Because you know what? Yeah, like the dance party, we budgeted what, 10 minutes for that? It's gonna be like 3 minutes probably.
Yeah. Can we turn on music, Chuck?
I don't think we should make it very long.
No, I know, but it's nice to have a little background buzz.
Truly.
I don't know if
Well, this is. I don't know.
friends.
Okay, here we go.
So my sound and everything, it's just, look at the adjustment. There's a little ruffle. Yours is fine, even though it's lower. I got the volume. You noticed? Have you heard that rustle in there just a few times? As weird as this seems, I'm going to just pull the outside like that. That should take care of it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Is that more comfortable just wearing those and not having to have pickup mics?
Yes, and that one.
Now it's kind of music. Anybody who has a question, everything's being transported right out of here.
Cool.
Straight into the cameras and being captured.
It's so weird how that happens.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
I'm like, technology.
Yeah. Okay.
Got about 1 more minute, guys.
Every time, like, tell them it's going to be a 3-minute event, 4-minute event, whatever.
Okay.
I try and watch too.
I'll keep you tight to this. I'll get free with
You're amazing.
not this way.
We've got some trail mix here too, Todd, if you want some.
There's snacks. I'm gonna.
Oh, we'll get that for you.
What's the music that's coming in? Leadership music? I'm just gonna load that.
Yeah.
I just turned it off. Literally all night.
Would you be able to go down to the lobby to get Todd a cup of coffee? That'd be amazing. You just asked her once, and I was like, oh shit. How do you like your coffee?
Just black like my kids.
He said just black.
Alright.
All right, guys, if you can wrap up your last thought. Love this buzzing.
Maybe we'll take some chairs.
Maybe after.
Alright, guys, we're gonna rewind her down.
This is a really good problem to have when people just want to keep chatting. I love this because we just love to keep chatting. But we're also on a schedule today that has everyone coming in just like pumping through.
Yes.
So we want to make sure that we take full advantage of today.
Yes.
So thank you all so much for sharing. We're going to have opportunities for you guys to continue to connect and share, and we'll even have group shares as well. And so we really just want to make sure that we continue on and get through the content today because it's going to be.
I think that this is a really cool thing to observe, though, that the energy in the room, you can feel it, right? You can feel that excitement, that energy. You guys are connecting, you're talking, you're sharing. You might be sitting next to someone new. Sometimes even learning someone else's goals or where their mindset is, it helps you feel relatable to them too. And you're like, oh, that's, oh, like, and you get that me too. That's what people want. We just want to feel connected. You never want to feel like you're alone in this world. That's how I felt before I was finally able to admit to Carly where I'm like, I'm having a hard time. And she's like, me too. I'm like, thank God it's not just me. That's how it's nice to feel like you're not alone. And when we can start to share and connect with each other, that's when you feel that power of connection because we are all very, very similar people. We are that 1%. that wants to grow, that wants to change. So having open dialogue like these styles of questions can be what drives a lot of your conversations today. So just reflect on this and know that for the rest of the day. Use these as conversation starters if you meet someone new. Hey, like, what brought you to the event? What are you looking for the weekend? Or like, what do you, like, it just helps you trigger conversations with other people, and it can really lead into some beautiful conversations.
Amazing.
All right, guys, so here's our big question. Who here wants to be more successful? Us too, okay.
Love it.
Who feels like they're struggling to tap into their true potential?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally.
Yes. Okay. So what's the problem?
Unfortunately, if you look in the mirror, it's you. So we're not here to be like, you're the problem, you suck.
No.
Because, but you really are the only thing in your way.
Yes.
It's not the opportunity that you're involved in. It's not your coworker's problem. It's not your finances. It's not your time. It's not your kids. It's you. You are the problem standing in your way.
Yeah.
But here's the good news. You're also the solution.
Yes.
How empowering.
Yes.
You can freaking change your life if you decide. Or you can stay stuck as the problem. But if you continue to make friggin' excuses, oh, my kids, I can never get anything done. My damn kids are always, yeah, same here. But I'm also my solution, so I've come up with ways to move through that. So it starts with being aware. Because how many of us have made an excuse and like 100% thought it was them and it's their problem, and even though it was like negatively affecting you, and you're just like, oh my God, and you just walk through. And then once you kind of figure out like, oh, maybe I'm the common denominator here, or maybe that person is an absolute jerk and I'm letting it affect me and it's such a problem in my life. But guess what? You're the solution. You can either have a conversation with that person, improve the relationship, or you can say, get the hell out, and look, the problem's gone.
Yeah.
But you're the one who implemented that solution. And it all starts with being aware.
Yeah.
Aware of your excuses, aware of the problems that you have, right? And it's really amazing because you can create such incredible success when you get out of your own way. Who here has done something that's hard and got rid of a problem? You actually, like, as entrepreneurs, a lot of us are entrepreneurs in this room. Who's here as an entrepreneur? Woo! Woo! Yes! We're professional problem solvers. That's all we do. We solve other people's problems. We solve our own problems. Like, constantly, things are coming up against us to push us down.
Yeah.
But guess what? Life can also lift us up if we allow it and if we step into our true potential. We don't say highest potential. We don't believe in reaching your highest potential because there's no such thing. You'll never reach your highest potential because you'll always grow. Todd is one of the most incredible men we know. And do you think he's always learning, always connecting, always pushing himself? He will never reach, Todd, you'll never reach your full potential. You'll just always be soaring for the sky. Yeah.
I got a long way to go to grow into the man my wife saw and actually put up with for 27 years.
Yeah, that's an incredible feat just in itself.
Yeah.
Their relationship is something that I just like, look at, I'm like, oh, relationship goals. And you'll hear about that tomorrow. So you will never reach your full potential. So keep reaching, keep growing, keep solving those problems so you don't cap yourself. What limiting beliefs are you holding on to? What old habits are you falling into that allows you to stay stuck, allows you to keep moving in your excuses? It's just as hard to be miserable and moving through life at a pace in which you feel depressed, anxious, self-conscious. It's hard. And it's also friggin' hard to be the solution. It's also hard to form those connections that you need to get to these events, to spend the money on those courses that you need to grow and elevate yourself. It's hard, but you choose your hard. There's no easy way out. It just may feel like an easy way because you've made this excuse and you've told yourself this is the easy way, but you're cheating yourself.
So how do we take action? because it's one thing to talk about, you know, the problems, but how do we get into being solution oriented? And honestly, one of the best ways to come to any solution is to become aware of the problem. And it's hard to point that finger back at ourselves. We want to point it at every other thing. It's this, it's that, we do this all day long. It's something else. And we fall victim to our story, to our circumstances. And we love, like, I loved how Stevie touched on this yesterday at VIP, but people love to talk about their past. We love to talk about all the shit that's happened to us in our lives. Well, my dad did this and this happened to me, and victim. And we were victims in that moment, but we choose to continue to be a victim of that story as we future pace into our lives. And personally, like, we've all gone through shit. No one's story is any better and any more victimizing than someone else's story, because it's how you perceive that occurrence, how that happened to you. But it's how you move through that story and through that experience that you can gain strength from it, that you can grow from it, that you can evolve from it, that then empowers you. You become empowered by your story versus victimized by your story, and you want to grow from it. It's one of the most beautiful things when you can start to recognize how much your past is dictating your present and your future, and allowing all those old things that have happened to you to continue to play into your future existence. And that's what's stopping you, that's what's blocking you, that's what's creating all of those limits in your life. And we look at this outside life, I want all these things. I'll never have it, they're better than me, they're stronger than me, they're fitter than me, they're prettier than me. And we tell ourselves these bullshit lies all day long because we want to play the victim. People love to be a victim. People feel sorry for you. People give attention to you. Feel bad for me. No, it's true. People love being a victim. And it's one of the hardest things about our society is that we perpetuate negativity. I don't watch the news. I refuse to turn on. Mom turned on the news this morning and said, please turn off the TV. She was like, oh, okay. I was like, I don't want to wake up. Definitely don't want to start my day with the news. What's happening in Calgary has no effect on me. If someone got hit by a car in Vancouver at a crosswalk, that has no effect on me.
That is sad.
It's sad. Sure. I'm sorry that happened to that person, but like, it has no effect on my day. But what it can do is bring me down. Mm-hmm. You get weighed down by the weight of the world. And if it's not in my world right now, that's not how I want to start my day. So I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
So, and when you go to work, what do people want to talk about? They want to complain. Everybody wants to complain. My husband sucks. My boyfriend did this. Our boss is the worst. And then you get into this negativity cycle, and you're just spiraling into negativity. And it's like, yeah, wherever life is happening to us, it's not fair. Life isn't fair. And then that other person says it too. So you're like, yeah, this is right. And then you stack evidence that's right. We're negative. The negativity is the way. Those crazy people at that event, they're hippies and they're drinking some weird Kool-Aid. I'm like, it must be a scam because they're on the computer. And so people want to stay in the problem. They want to stay in the problem because the problem feels good, because 90% of people live in the problem. It's a very small percent of people that live in the solution. Leaders are solution-oriented people. They are problem solvers, and they know how to make decisions. Mm-hmm. That is one of the biggest things. Leaders, building yourself into being a true leader, you have really strong daily habits. Everyone's always, you want to look at the most successful people in the world. Those are the people that you want to look at the habits that they're creating. Because you want to create, I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. I'm not looking to make something or change something. I want to follow what someone else has created that has brought them success. What are they doing every single day? And when you can create daily habits, you create repetition in your life. Repetition creates change. It has to happen every single day. Mm-hmm. So every single day, you're either meditating or you're doing gratitude. That's a beautiful thing. I think something within your mindset in a day, listening to a podcast, getting re-energized, something that taps into your brain power where you're consuming positive, energizing content that maximizes your day. That's a book, a podcast, your gratitude journal, something a meditation, that's all for your brain. That's a really powerful daily habit. Get your body moving. We have Christy coming up next. She's gonna talk to you all about the power of health and wellness. That's been so impactful for both Carly and I. It was one of the biggest shifts I think that we had to make with being with Jeff. We're like, oh my God, we have to go to the gym? What does this have to do with anything? You will learn how much it has to do with everything. The power of moving your body. These are all really, really good daily habits to start instilling because it creates momentum. And then you win. and then you win a little bit more. And it's not about adding so much to your plate that it feels like, oh my God, I got all this stuff to do today. It's just little things, little increments, but every single day, that consistency creates momentum, creates change. Accountability. Have a buddy. We've got a lot of buddies in here. Have a buddy system. It's like back in kindergarten. Who's your buddy? You had to pair up, okay? Have a buddy system. If you can have accountability, you have someone that holds you to your word, because at first it is hard to stay true to your own word. We'll talk about the power of language, but that is something everyone struggles with. If you're only accountable to yourself, we spent a lot of years lying to ourselves. We lie to ourselves every friggin' day. I'll get to the gym. I got busy with the kids, and then my husband came home, and then we got in a fight, and then I was saying, I won't make it today. You just lied to yourself. You told yourself you were gonna go to the gym, and then you didn't. You didn't hold yourself accountable, and because it was just to you, and you're used to lying to yourself, because again, we do it every day, it felt okay to go, I'll do it tomorrow. And we do it all the time. So if you don't have, if I know I made a gym date at 8:30, well, you bet your balls I'm showing up at 8:30. I don't want to let someone down. I feel terrible. I have accountability. If we are in a messenger chat and Carly messages me, hey, Allie, did you get that presentation done? I'd be like, shit, I better get the presentation done. Carly's counting on me. Form accountability, because until you can, and it's now I'm accountable to myself because I've created consistency with my accountability. I don't want to let my own self down because I've built up strength within my word. The power of integrity with your word and with yourself. It's hard to build, so build it with someone else at first until you build the strength and habits to do it for yourself. Pick a buddy. It's one of the most powerful things you can do.
A buddy, and even like a group, even, you know, forming a mastermind group is so powerful. And then you can connect and share and relate on levels that you never could realize that you had just in yourself, right? You all have similar problems, and you all can share the solutions. Don't always try and do it on your own. You're the solution, but you're also resourceful to reach out and get help from other people and support. And sometimes it's just someone to listen to, someone to hear you.
When we go over values and priorities, everyone has different values in their day and different priorities in their day. And that's often like a big shift for a lot of people, is recognizing what your values are going to be different than someone else's values. And often people closest to us will want to impose their values onto you. So it's like, maybe the family was maybe not my top value, but it's a top value for Carly. She'd be like, oh, Allie, you're not spending enough time with your family. What about your family? And then I'm like, oh, am I the worst person because I don't value my family enough? That's her top value. It might not be mine. Maybe business is my top value, but it isn't Carly's. I'm like, yo, girl, what you doing for business? What time? And she's like, I'm with my family. I'm like, oh, you're always with your family. And then I make her feel bad, right? So we impose our own set of values onto other people very often. So recognize what your values are and then prioritize your values accordingly, because priorities are a big thing. People talk about time management a lot. Trust me, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. Like Beyonce can do it, we can do it. So like people are busy. People have kids, people are building empires, people have work, people have commitments, soccer, life, dogs, pets, turtles, cows, whatever. We have lives. We get it. We are all busy people, but it is what you choose to prioritize in a day, not make time for. Because if it's not a priority, you'll never make time for it. If the gym is not a priority, and you say, I hope I get to the gym today, but really it's like on like task 6, you're like, that can probably wait till tomorrow, because it's not a priority and I don't value that enough.
But I put it on my list, so I feel better that it was a priority for me, so I feel better. I'm going to the gym.
But I got
trying
busy.
to go into the gym.
I got busy.
No, you did not go to the gym. It's not a priority.
So it's recognizing what needs to grow in my life. And if business is one of the things that needs to grow in your life, it needs to bump up the list so it becomes one of your must-do tasks. If the gym is a priority, it needs to bump up the list. Laundry goes into the back of the list, or doing the dishes or other things move down the list so you can start to prioritize things in a different way. Otherwise, if we keep staying in that same cycle, nothing ever changes. So it's taking a hard look at what do I really want, and then how can I prioritize that to fit it into my day-to-day.
Yeah, totally. So the last couple here, reflection and awareness. So again, it's being aware of when you're making excuses. When you look at your little daily list, and Kate is going to go over some time management, so I'm really excited for her to dive into this. But when you're looking at your daily tasks and
maybe you don't get some of them done. At the end of the day, ask yourself why. That's the part of reflection and awareness. Is don't just go to sleep and then be like, I'll look at it tomorrow. It's like, no, what came up? What actually is the truth around the excuses that you're making? There is, honest to God, real life things that happen that come up. We know that.
Yeah.
We're not here to say that you have to be the perfect person getting everything done that you say you're ever going to do. That's not life. Life is unpredictable. But you do need to reflect and be aware of when these patterns start showing up. Staying committed. This is huge. This is like how we were talking about when we're the problem solvers of the world, right? And if you want to get somewhere, and I'm going to talk more about this tonight, but when you want to get somewhere and something comes up in your way, there's a problem, when you're committed, it's not like, whatever. It's like, this is way too hard. I've put in so much time and effort. I just can't get there. Well, just like Jeff was saying yesterday, your kids are a priority, so you're committed to them, right? You're not just like I'm an okay parent, I'm just gonna make sure they kind of survive. No, you're friggin' committed to being a parent and making sure they survive and thrive and are amazing, right? So if your kid needed to get to the hospital and your car broke down, that's a problem. What do? You're committed. I'll hitchhike, I don't care. Okay, the hitchhiker, the people that pick you up, you jump out of the car and roll down the hill and you hike, you start hiking. The hospital's closed. Okay, we're gonna put out a broad request for a doctor somewhere. Like, you're gonna keep frigging fighting because you're committed. So why do you give up on yourself when you go to the gym and you're not seeing those damn inches? I heard Allie literally cried to
This is private. Here we go.
confidentiality out the window. She was so upset with herself. She's like, I've been going to the gym and eating healthy and I don't know what's wrong. I'm not seeing the success. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like looking at her on camera. She's getting thinner and thinner. She's feeling more energized. She's doing all these things. She's friggin' doing the push-up thing, the pull-up thing. I'm like, I think you need to check yourself because you're friggin' amazing. She couldn't see it. She only saw what she wanted to see, which was her lack of progress in her mind. That was her problem. And I was like, what? No, you need to stay committed. You're doing amazing. You just might not see the little tiny progress that you're making. So keep going. So every time she came up against a problem, she just kept pushing herself. And now she's like a friggin' Spartan racer. Like she's crazy. She's like Kamei in the background. So you gotta stay committed, and I'll talk more about this tonight. So, moving right along. So our leadership styles, everyone is going to have a different leadership style, and we're going to deep dive into our course and how everyone is different. They've got a different personality. Not everyone is going to be annoying and bubbly like us. Everyone is going to be a little bit different.
Epically amazing.
We embrace our annoyingness. We love it. But you have to find what works for you. So it's not about if you're an introvert, us helping you transform into an extrovert. That's who you are. You're not gonna change that. There's incredible introverts and quiet people and creative people that are incredible leaders, and you can be that. You just have to know your own style. Yeah, like Dom, totally. He just put up his hand, by the way. I wasn't just like pointing him out. And so we want to help you, identify those things. And we just want to share today what's worked for us, because even if you are that introvert or you may have a different style, you can still, I think, take a lot away of what we're going to cover right here, because it works no matter who you are, really. And so one of the first things we like to talk about is ego boosting. We've talked so much. You're like, okay, can we eliminate that word? We've heard it so much. But guess what? It's driving us, and it's driving other people. And if you are a leader, you need to know how to ego boost, because our egos love to hear amazing things about us. And so whether or not you have a team, or you got a family, if you got friends, you've got coworkers, you're all surrounded by people. And guess what? When those people are happy, they're going to bring their highest light to you as well, and they're going to lift you up as in your day too. So it's in your best interest to be lifting those egos. So something simple, and there's going to be in the Dropbox, we've got a video on ego boosting, so we won't go too deep into it, but make sure you watch it if you haven't. And it's all about the strategy of how you can actually we've heard people implement this strategy and come back to us and say, I did this and literally saw immediate results. People were messaging me, the particular person, she said she put this into her chat, she gave this ego boosting, explaining how thankful she was to her team, how incredible they were. She was pinpointing individuals that had stepped up, done things, and people just lit up on fire. They got emotional, they messaged her. It was transformational in one freaking message. You can have that effect. You can have that effect in your family. Hey hubby, thank you so much for taking the extra time tonight to watch the kids so I could get on that call. That meant so much to me. That's gonna make him feel so good. He's gonna wanna do it again for you. Because let me tell you, partners can be a little stressful when you're trying to build a business and they're like, why are you on your phone? Why are you doing these team calls? Why are you always doing, why are you going to this event? Why are you spending this money? When you can ego boost them, they're gonna let you continue to do that. Right? It's kind of manipulation, but it works. And it's the truth. Don't ever lie. That's the other thing. Because I don't want you to think anytime we give you an ego boost, because we do it a lot, that we're lying. We genuinely pick things that we value about you. And even when you want people to do something, so I'm gonna skip down, encouraging others to step up, making space to empower others. You can do this too. If they're coming to you with a problem or something, a coworker comes to you, your kid comes to you, whatever, you say, again, speaking from the truth, don't pull out values of them that you don't actually think are there. Pull on the things that you know that they're capable of. I've seen you do this. Like if you're talking to your son and he's coming and he's getting bullied and you're like, oh my God, like I feel helpless. You know what? Your son has got it in him to overcome this. So pull that out in him. Get him to lead himself. And you're empowering that. As a leader, you're not leading from the top. You're always looking to empower other leaders. If we leave this event and one person steps up more in their life, in their business, in their family, in their community, we've helped empower that person.
I think there's this strong misconception about leadership and the role of a leader, that it's someone way up at the top and you'll never have that position, that it comes with an X amount of money in a bank account or a rank in a business or some sort of clout, and that is such BS. And we need to recognize that the word leader is within us, and how you tap into that for yourself. You don't have to emulate someone else's style. There's many people that have leadership roles that I would never want to be like, because their style is nothing like mine. If I led like that, I would have no one.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't fit for me. And how we want to lead might not fit for you. And that is why there's such a varying array of leadership styles. It's finding where your voice fits, so then you feel empowered to then empower others. Because there is so much room. There is so much room. It is not like this, one person at the top. It's like this for all of us to be in that position. All of us.
Yeah, 100%. So we covered staying true to your word, having integrity. What you say you're gonna do, friggin' show up. If you schedule a call with your team, be there. If something crazy happens, your kid gets hit and you're in the hospital, arrange for someone to take your place. Or arrange to reschedule that. It is a priority. Don't lose your integrity. Do things that others won't. Like maybe this crazy friggin' event that took a lot of work. But you know what? It was so worth it. And even if we just had one person here, Ashley, she's our first person to buy the ticket, it would have been worth it.
Yeah.
Because the ripple effect that we could make and the audience that we create outside of this, people that are not here, they're still going to learn from this. They're going to take away because you're going to share. You're going to share what you learned. They're going to see the content. That's a ripple effect. Do things that others won't. If you've got a crazy ad idea and you're like, oh my goodness, like this would be awkward or embarrassing or whatever. No, I've never seen anyone do this. Do it. What's the worst that could happen? Your account gets shut down? Allie's had 3 shut down. She just had her last one shut down. Yeah. She just had her last one shut down, what, like a month ago. She's already created a new one, making sales, making leads. That's not an excuse. She's committed. She saw the problem. It was a big problem. You need to have ads in order to run a business like at our level, if you want to scale. And she didn't see that as a problem. She saw it as a growing step. And you know what? Now when someone else has that problem, she can be there to say, it's okay. I'm going to help you through this. You can do this. So when you have a problem, that becomes not only a way to find a solution and to show you, empower yourself that I can get through this, but that becomes your strength that you can utilize to help others. Because just like we said in the beginning, give more to be more. That is so, so important.
Problems are opportunities. And
Yeah.
when you can start to see a problem as an opportunity, that's when you actually welcome some grief into your life. You're like, bring it on, life, what you got. Because honestly, if this shit was easy for us, it wouldn't be fun. We would never grow. We'd never learn. You have to struggle. And I think when you can start to embrace the hard, that's when you can see the power of your journey, because it is not just like we're all just at the top and this is what life looks like. This is what it looks like. It's crazy. But when you can embrace that crazy roller coaster and you start to own a problem as an opportunity, every time something goes wrong, so to speak, I'm like, what can I learn from this? There's always a lesson in a problem. And that's the beautiful gift, because then if someone else has that, now I know a little bit more and I can guide a little bit stronger because I've experienced something. So we can't just go through life in this bubble thinking nothing will ever happen to me. I gotta stay in my comfort zone. You want shit to go wrong because that's where you build power, and that's where you can then empower others.
And never, just to finish this off, never compare yourself to a single other person, another leader. You are your own individual, unique snowflake. And as corny as that sounds, it's so true. Why would you compare yourself to another snowflake? That snowflake is beautiful. It's got little spikies. You've got little roundies. Like, whatever. You know, like, you're that's a new word. Leaders, I can make up my own words.
Spikies and roundies.
Spikies and roundies. You know what I'm talking about. You're all unique, so why would you compare the spikies to the roundies? You know what I mean? So you can tell we don't actually practice these presentations. We just make a couple of notes and throw it out. But it's so true, you guys. And a lot of you guys are in businesses where there's ranks involved. But guess what? A rank does not define you.
No.
Just because you're at a higher rank does not mean you're a better person, does not mean you're a smarter person. It doesn't even mean you're better in business. All it means is that you've done the work to put in and you're at that rank, you've gone on your own journey. You also don't know what it took for that person to get there, so why would you be comparing yourself? So often people will say like, oh, Carly, like, you've been so successful in the many businesses that you've done. You're so lucky, like, oh man, like, I just think that's so cool you've done this. I'm like, yeah, but I failed my ass off for like years in my other businesses. I have a network marketing background of years. I was not successful. But you know what, looking back, I am so damn grateful.
Yeah.
Because here I am now like 5 years in the online space. And I feel like I've found my stride, but I've failed forward so many times. Use that as your strength and never compare your journey to anyone else, because you're just starting off and I've been here failing for a long time. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna fail for that long. You could maybe just fail for a year. But you know what? That's longer than, potentially someone who's gonna retire when they're 60, right? It took me failing over only 5 years or 3 years to get where I am right now, and I'm gonna continue to fail. Someone could look at this event and say, you guys said on your promo video there was gonna be 100 people. You guys failed.
Yeah.
We don't care. This is not a failure.
Yeah.
This is a building block. So thank you guys all so much. We're gonna finish off with this little exercise that we have. Do you have the?
Yes.
We made up some serious time at the end there.
We're professional.
You got to adapt. That's the thing also. When you're a leader, you got to adapt. Like the weather yesterday, did you all see the rainstorm happening? Yeah, rooftop patio not happening. But we're going to get a cozy, cute lounge for tonight. Yeah, there you go, right? So yeah, you got to be willing to adapt. So what we're going to get you guys to do is we're going to get you to do this exercise. And so first of all, everyone's got pen and paper in the little swag bags. You got your little pen and your paper. It's all those little details, right? Like we love that shit. If you haven't been into the bathroom yet, girls.
Yeah, that's next.
I mean, come on.
Sorry, guys.
Love that stuff.
Sorry.
You can go ahead and start the music. Okay, guys, so what I want you all to do is let's shake it out. Oh, even my shoulders were tight. This damn shirt is so short. It's like, okay, roll those shoulders. Roll that neck. Oh. Okay, guys, we're gonna get you moving here in a bit, but first, let's just take a big inhale. You can close your eyes. Big inhale. Hold at the top. Exhale. Now for this one, I want you to inhale the love, the wisdom in this group, the excitement that's coming. You can feel it in your tummy. Maybe it's nervousness. No, that's excitement. Your body just thinks it's nervousness. And I want you to exhale any negativity, any nervousness that you're feeling, judgment, anything at home, text messages that you've got. Inhale again, hold, and exhale one more time. Anything that you feel that's holding you back from today, because you're a leader. You're here for a reason. You're meant to connect even with just one person. Have those tough conversations. You're going to put yourself out there. You're going to have such an incredible weekend. You're going to transform your life. And it starts right now. So I want you to consider yourself a leader, because that's what you are. You are a leader in your family, in your community, in your business, in your team, in your workplace. And I want you to vision that perfect version of yourself. No one's perfect, but that higher version of yourself, that higher leader, what you truly aspire to be, I want you to picture that person. What do they look like? It's you. It may be a month from now, maybe 3 years from now, wherever it is. Don't think of the how. Don't think, oh, it's impossible for me to look like that. Wow, I've lost 20 pounds. Don't think about the how. Just vision. What do you look like? What does your hair look like? What are you wearing? What's your surrounding? Are you in an office place? Are you on a beach? Are you in a board meeting? Are you standing up here on a stage? What does that look like? How do you speak to people? How do you love them? How do you lift them up? How do you empower them to be other leaders? What courses, what events, what personal development things do you fill your soul with? How do you keep growing? What culture do you instill? What are your values? What types of people do you work with? You are that leader. Embody that leader. You are incredible. That is you right now. You're on that path. Your success is inevitable. You're stronger than you think. You're more powerful than you think. Ignite the leader within. It is there. I want you all to take another deep breath and exhale. I want you to inhale your power, your knowledge, your love, and exhale any freaking doubts that you have about yourself. Let it go. Don't hold yourself back. That's not why you're here. That's not why you said yes. And when you're ready, I want you to stand up out of your seats right now. Actually, when you're ready. And on the count of 3, I want you all to say, I am a leader. 1, 2, 3. I am a leader. Okay, we need to do that with way more energy.
Come on.
You're not the only one in here. 1, 2, 3. I am a leader. Yes. Awesome, you guys. Incredible. Oh, that was so powerful to walk you through that. I was like tearing up because I'm envisioning myself and it's happening. So it can happen to you too. If it can happen to one person, why can't it happen for you? Thank you all so much. We are going to have some fun now introducing our next speaker. But first, Allie and I love to get our jig on. And we know how important movement is. So again, you can get back out of your seats, sorry. And we're going to have a dance party. Move it around. Shake it up. Let's go through the room. Woo!
Like I need a host.
Yes, tonight.